heresy. No other word struck such fear into the heart of the 13th century church. It was a shadow that had to be extinguished, no matter the cost. And in the Languedoc of southern France, it was thriving. A faith known as Catharism, which rejected Rome, its priests, and its sacraments, had captured the hearts of nobles and commoners alike. The Church's response was not to persuade, but to punish. It unleashed a holy war on its own people, a brutal 20-year conflict known as the Albigensian Crusade, designed to eradicate the heretics by any means necessary. Join me as we confront the question of how a holy war became a war of conquest and delve into the savage story that follows, a tale of fanatical faith, political ambition, and a culture pushed to the edge of annihilation. The Languedoc was a land of culture, poetry, and a fiercely independent nobility. Here, the Cathar faith had taken root, with many believing in two opposing principles: a benevolent god of spirit and a dark force, or demiurge, behind the corrupt material world. The Cathars, also known as the Albigensians, rejected the authority of the Pope, the sacraments of the Church, and the very concept of a vengeful god. They were guided by their elite, the ascetic perfects.
We believe that the world you see, the world of flesh and power, is a flawed creation. Our souls are sparks of the divine, trapped in this material prison. We seek not earthly power, but liberation.
But this peaceful coexistence was not to last. In Rome, Pope Innocent III, a man of immense power and ambition, saw the Cathars as a cancer on the body of Christendom. He sent preachers, but the heresy only grew. His frustration mounted.
This cancer of heresy in the Languedoc threatened the very foundation of our faith. The local lords, like Raymond of Toulouse, tolerate and even protect these deviants. Their inaction forces our hand. If they will not cleanse their lands, we shall do it for them.
The final straw came in 1208 with the murder of the papal legate, Pierre de Castelnau. Though the culprit was never definitively found, the blame was laid at the feet of Count Raymond VI of Toulouse. Pope Innocent III now had his justification. He called for a crusade, not against Muslims in the Holy Land, but against fellow Christians in the heart of Europe. In the summer of 1209, a massive crusader army, composed of knights from northern France, eager for land and papal indulgence, descended upon the Languedoc. Their leader was the Cistercian abbot Arnaud Amalric, a man of chilling conviction. Their first major target was the city of Béziers. When the city fell, the Crusaders were faced with the dilemma of how to distinguish heretic from Catholic inside.
Kill them all. God will recognize his own.
Though likely embellished, this chilling phrase was later attributed to Arnaud Amalric, symbolizing the indiscriminate slaughter at Béziers. Thousands were put to the sword in a brutal display of religious fervor and military might. The fall of Béziers sent a shockwave of terror across the Languedoc. Carcassonne fell soon after, and its charismatic viscount, Raymond Roger, was imprisoned in his own citadel and died shortly after, likely of illness, though the conditions remain debated. With the initial victories, a new leader emerged to command the crusade, Simon de Montfort, a minor lord from northern France, but a brilliant and ruthless military strategist. He was granted the conquered lands of the Trencavel and became the driving force of the Crusade's most brutal phase.
We are the army of God. These lands are poisoned by heresy. We will cut it out root and stem. Show no mercy to those who defy the will of the Almighty.
The war raged on for years, a brutal cycle of sieges, skirmishes, and mass burnings of Cathars at the stake. The vibrant culture of the Languedoc was systematically crushed. Count Raymond VI of Toulouse, a politically embattled noble caught between papal demands and regional loyalties, whose hesitations drew suspicion from both sides, became a symbol of the Southern cause.
They call me a heretic, a traitor, but I defend my people, my lands, from foreign invaders who use the cross as a banner for conquest. We will not be broken!
A turning point came in 1213 at the Battle of Muret. King Peter II of Aragon, a renowned crusader and Raymond's brother-in-law, came to the aid of the southern lords. Despite outnumbering the crusader forces, the southern coalition was decisively defeated, and King Peter was killed. The defeat was a devastating blow to the southern cause. Simon de Montfort's triumph seemed complete, but his cruelty bred resentment. In 1217, the people of Toulouse rose up and welcomed Raymond VI back into the city. Montfort laid siege to Toulouse, but in a moment of poetic justice, he was killed by a stone projectile, launched by the women of the city. The death of Simon de Montfort breathed new life into the resistance, led by Raymond's son, Raymond VII. For a time, it seemed the South might reclaim its independence, but the French monarchy now saw its ultimate opportunity. What had begun as a holy war was now undeniably a war of political conquest. In 1226, King Louis VIII led a royal crusade, determined to bring the wealthy and defiant South under the direct control of the French crown. By 1229, the exhausted southern lords were forced to accept the humiliating Treaty of Paris. Raymond VII was reconciled with the Church, but his vast territories were effectively brought under the control of the French crown. The political independence of the Languedoc was over. The war may have ended, but the persecution did not. To eradicate the last vestiges of the heresy, the Papal Inquisition was established in Toulouse. For decades, inquisitors interrogated, tortured, and burned those suspected of Cathar beliefs. The final major act of the tragedy unfolded at the mountain fortress of Montségur. In 1244, after a grueling 10-month siege, the last major Cathar stronghold of Montségur fell. The defeated Cathars were given a choice: renounce their faith or be burned. Over 200 perfects and believers walked calmly to their fiery deaths, a final defiant testament to their faith.
They can burn our bodies, but they cannot extinguish the spirit. The light will find a way to shine again.
The Albigensian Crusade was a brutal and complex conflict that forever changed the face of southern France. It was a holy war that became a war of conquest, a struggle for faith that decimated a unique and vibrant culture. The Cathars were ultimately eradicated, their faith silenced. But the legacy of the Albigensian Crusade endures. It led to the establishment of the fearsome Papal Inquisition, the decline of the rich Occitan language and culture, and the firm consolidation of the French kingdom. The shadow of Montségur serves as a permanent reminder of a time when the cross cast a long and terrible shadow over the sun-drenched fields of the Languedoc. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with fellow history lovers. And if you'd like to support more videos like this one, consider joining me on Patreon.